A new report is shedding light on problems inside the Roderick L. Ireland Courthouse and Hampden Juvenile Court in Springfield. Good Monday evening, everyone. Welcome to Western Mass News at 6. I'm Chris Pisano.
And I'm Beth Ward. The report details problems with the building's air quality and ventilation. Western Mass News reporter Caroline Powers is live in Springfield getting answers on how officials are addressing these issues. Caroline?
Beth and Chris, Environmental Emergency and Health had put together a 150-page report detailing out the indoor environmental air quality of the Springfield Courthouse. Longtime employees and community members say that the results are concerning. The Hampden County Courthouse was built back in 1973. It houses holding cells, courtrooms, common areas, and local offices. For years now, employees have raised questions and concerns about the age and workup of the building and what it's doing to employees' health. That's why a committee of courthouse employees brought Environmental Health and Engineering, Inc. in for an assessment.
It was an independent group. They wanted to find out, get all the facts of what's going on in the courthouse with the air, the quality of air, what kind of concerns are there, what do we need to do, what should we've been looking for in the past, and what should we be looking for in the future as far as the courthouse.
Second Hampden District Representative Brian Ash tells Western Mass News he has personal and professional ties to the building.
Personal, my dad worked here for 38 years, and so he passed away of brain cancer, but he's not alone. There's, as you know, with the ALS, there's, we've lost a few judges, so it's a little too coincidental that many people are getting sick here. As a legislator, I'm very concerned because I have family, friends, constituents who work here, and on a personal level, I'm very concerned too, and it's something that possibly could have been prevented. And then you look at all the other people who've been working here for years and the concern, and as legislators, that's our job to make sure things like this don't happen, and if they do, how do you correct them?
The report says temperatures in some areas were outside of recommended ranges for occupant comfort, and improvements should be made to the HVAC system. The report also identified multiple issues with cleanliness in the building, with recommendations of cleaning throughout the building to get rid of excessive dust and mold growth on supply air diffusers and windows. Professional ductwork cleaning also needs to be done.
You think of the amount of people that come in and out of here, but more importantly, the people that work here day in and day out. And, obviously the windows don't open here. It's a building that's been around a little while. And, we want to, one, get to the bottom of the cause, and two, and more importantly at this point, for future prevention.
Representative Ash says he is working with other local leaders to talk with state and court officials on their next steps in solving these problems. Live in Springfield, I'm Caroline Powers for Western Mass News.
It was a snowy and rainy start for many across Western Mass, still dealing with a few rain showers pushing through eastern Hampden County out towards Belchertown and Ware, Munson and Palmer. You're picking up on a few sprinkles, and we're going to hold a few sprinkles in the forecast into tonight and into the morning tomorrow. But the gradual trend will be a clearing one for tomorrow as we finally see a nice push of high pressure that clears us out nicely for your Wednesday. Now, Springfield Skycam showing the dry roads, well, not so much dry because we just had a passing shower move on through. And the concern is north and west of here, any sort of wet roadways or sidewalks could potentially refreeze as we go into tonight. So something to watch for if you live in those hill towns into Franklin County. 34 in Charlemont, 37 in Greenfield, 41 in Springfield and Palmer, still holding on to a little bit of warmth, 33 in Worthington. On our way to the low 30s and upper 20s in some spots. I think we stay above the freezing mark here in Springfield, but that won't be the case out towards the Berkshires. 35 as you wake up, maybe some wintry mix north and west of town, some showers for us. Those wrap up as we go into the afternoon as we hit a high in the upper 30s. We do have some mild air over the next couple of days, at least seasonably above average, until we get a nice cold shot heading towards the end of the week, right in time for Valentine's Day. We'll look at the full 7-day forecast in just a few minutes. Chris and Beth.
Jacob, thanks. Agawam residents are gathering at the public library tonight to voice their concerns about a Tennessee gas pipeline project.
Well, the plan calls for 2 miles of pipeline to be installed in the city. Western Mass News reporter Sarah Grinelli joins us now live from the library with more. Sarah?
Beth, Chris, several people are already here tonight, packed into this room where you can see that movie screen. Right now, community members are watching a documentary that looks into the Merrimack Valley gas disaster that rocked part of Massachusetts back in September of 2018. Now, the gas disaster is on the forefront of many people's minds tonight as Tennessee Gas is looking to put in a gas line through Suffield Street. One main concern for residents is a damage release agreement negotiated by the town and the company. The agreement states that the gas company would pay up $150,000 up front. Now, that money would cover potential harm done to the crops, timber, and any and all damages to the properties. We spoke with one woman who describes why they decided to showcase this movie before tonight's meeting with city councilors.
It focuses initially on the gas explosions that happened in Lawrence, but it also shows how dangerous the pipelines can actually be. And then it steps back. It also looks at the health effects of natural gas on the community, not only on the community, but also on global warming.
Tonight, residents will have the chance to question city councilors about the project. Tennessee Gas Company has also been invited to the meeting tonight at the library. Now, the meeting officially starts at 7 o'clock at the library in Agawam. Live in Agawam tonight, Sarah Gurnelli, Western Mass News.
Sarah, thank you for that live report. New at 6, Springfield police say they took a drug dealer into custody who was already wearing a GPS ankle bracelet. Police say they were already nearby the Acushnet Avenue apartment that belonged to Arthur Estabrook on Saturday night when they saw a large amount of drugs inside. Estabrook was already in custody in connection with an assault when police found more than 73 grams of cocaine and several other drugs. The 54-year-old was indicted last year in 2019 on various drug charges. He's now facing armed assault to murder, cocaine trafficking, and several other charges. A severely neglected dog removed from a Springfield home is making remarkable progress.
Animal control officers say that they had to shave 2 pounds of fur from the little dog's matted and emaciated body. The owner now facing charges, and the dog, now named Cooper, has a new lease on life.
Just giving you guys another quick update of Cooper.
A tough day recently at the Thomas J. O'Connor Animal Control and Adoption Center in Springfield.
I've been doing this job for over a decade, and Cooper was probably the second worst matted dog I've ever seen. And that's saying a lot.
TJO's Hannah Orenstein tells Western Mass News Cooper came into the shelter about a week ago.
There's a cruelty investigation in place, so I can't say a whole lot about his arrival here, but he was removed from a home, and he's not going to be returned to his family.
This was Cooper when he came in. You can see the fright in his eyes. This is Cooper now, unrecognizable.
He's been here a little over a week, and really the last few days he started coming out of his shell, and he's an older guy, but he's surprisingly playful.
Under all that matted fur, skin and bones.
So he arrived weighing 14 pounds. We shaved over 2 pounds of hair off of him. So that's a significant portion of his body weight, given he's such a tiny dog.
The frequency of abused and neglected animals coming into TJO, we're told, is on the rise. Orenstein says they want to share Cooper's story to let people know it does not have to come to this.
We want people to use local shelters as a resource. If you need help with your animal, please reach out. That's what we're here for.
No judgment, no questions asked.
In the overwhelming majority of cases, we're not looking at cruelty. We're not looking at prosecuting you.
While surrendering an animal is heartbreaking.
Just bring them here. You can say it's a stray. We don't encourage people to lie, but we would rather have the animal here where it's safe than abandoned somewhere.
Orenstein says it's not uncommon for animals to be left outside of the shelter if coming in is not an option.
Bring them somewhere safe, whether that's to a police station, whether it's to our shelter, or even to a friend who's going to bring it here. As long as the animal's here and safe, you're doing the best thing for them.
Despite everything, Orenstein says Cooper just wants to play and be scratched. Any human contact, something Orenstein says with all that matting is probably a first.
Looking for someone else, and he was just in.
I can tell you firsthand, quite the spirit too, despite everything. Cooper is doing so well, eating 4 times a day, gaining weight, and with a remarkable spirit. Orenstein says that he is now ready for his forever home and open for adoption.